Have you noticed weaker morning energy, slower circulation, or that your body just doesn't respond the way it used to at night? Many men assume this is simply aging. It isn't always. I'm Dr. Barbara O'Neill, a board-certified urologist, and I've spent decades helping men restore performance, sleep quality, and confidence. Tonight, I want to talk about a surprising nighttime trigger most men overlook, one that quietly affects blood flow while you sleep. Tell me where you're watching from, and if this helps, consider subscribing. But here's what most people don't realize. Your body's most important circulation work doesn't happen when you're awake. It happens quietly, rhythmically, while you sleep. During the day, your heart and blood vessels are busy reacting, standing, walking, digesting, responding to stress. But at night, something very different takes place. Your nervous system shifts gears, your heart rate slows, your blood vessels are supposed to relax. And this relaxation is not just about rest, it's about repair. When you enter deep sleep, your body moves into what I often call maintenance mode. Blood flow redistributes. Tissues that were under strain during the day finally receive steady, nourishing circulation. Tiny blood vessels open more fully. Oxygen delivery improves. Hormones regulating recovery begin to stabilize. This is when your cardiovascular system resets its balance, reducing inflammation and restoring flexibility in vessel walls. In other words, sleep is not passive, it is biologically active. A key player in this process is nitric oxide. You don't need to remember the name, but you should understand its role. Nitric oxide is a natural molecule your body produces to help blood vessels relax and widen. Think of it as a signal that tells your circulation system, loosen up, let blood move smoothly. When nitric oxide functions well, blood flows with less resistance, pressure stabilizes, tissues receive nutrients more efficiently. And for men, this directly influences nighttime and morning performance. Now here's where aging enters the picture, but not in the way many assume. After 50, your body doesn't suddenly stop working. It simply becomes less efficient at certain processes. Nitric oxide production can decline, blood vessels may stiffen slightly, microcirculation, the flow through the smallest vessels, may become less responsive. These are subtle shifts, often unnoticed at first, yet they change how well your body supports itself during sleep. This is why some men wake feeling refreshed and others wake feeling off, even after a full night in bed. It's not always about hours slept. It's about what your circulation accomplished during those hours. Did your blood vessels relax properly? Did oxygen delivery remain steady? Did tissues receive enough flow for repair? Over decades of clinical practice, I've seen a pattern that repeats itself. Men describe the same quiet frustrations. Doctor, my mornings aren't what they used to be. I sleep, but I don't feel restored. My hands and feet feel cold at night. I wake up tired, not energized. These complaints often seem unrelated, yet they point toward a common thread: declining nighttime blood flow efficiency. Let's talk about the silent signs your body may already be giving you. Reduced morning firmness is one of the earliest indicators many men notice but rarely discuss. This change isn't purely hormonal, it's frequently vascular. If blood vessels don't relax optimally overnight, tissue response diminishes. Another clue is cold extremities, feet or hands that feel chilled even in a warm room. This can reflect sluggish peripheral circulation. Restless sleep is another signal. Frequent tossing, unexplained awakenings, or the feeling that sleep is light rather than deep may indicate that your autonomic nervous system isn't fully entering recovery mode. Then there is reduced stamina during the day. Not dramatic exhaustion, but a subtle decrease in endurance. Climbing stairs feels slightly harder. Afternoon fatigue arrives earlier. Motivation dips. Again, many attribute this to aging, yet often the foundation lies in nighttime recovery quality. Here's the simple truth I tell my patients. During deep sleep, your body repairs blood vessels, balances hormones, and restores nerve sensitivity. Poor circulation at night interrupts this repair cycle. When that cycle is disrupted repeatedly, the effects accumulate. Energy declines gradually, responsiveness weakens, sleep becomes less restorative, confidence begins to erode. And the most important part, these changes are not always permanent. They are frequently functional, meaning they can improve when the underlying physiology is supported correctly. But improving nighttime blood flow isn't about medications alone, and this is where most men get it wrong. Now here's the mistake most seniors make when they start looking for answers. They hear about one nutrient, zinc, and suddenly it becomes the hero of the story. Advertisements praise it, supplement bottles promise renewed vitality, articles link it to testosterone, strength, and male performance. And before long, many men are faithfully taking zinc every day, expecting dramatic changes. But here's what most people don't realize. Zinc is essential, yes, important, absolutely, but it is rarely the missing piece behind declining circulation or nighttime performance changes. Let's first give zinc the credit it deserves. Zinc plays a genuine role in testosterone production. Your body uses it to support hormone synthesis, particularly in the testes. Without adequate zinc, testosterone levels can dip. Zinc also contributes to immune function, helping your body defend against infections and regulate inflammation. It participates in cellular repair, supporting wound healing and DNA maintenance. These are real, measurable benefits. This is why zinc earned its reputation. It matters for overall health, it matters for hormone balance, it matters for resilience. But here's where confusion begins. Many men assume that because zinc supports testosterone, increasing zinc automatically improves performance, energy, and circulation. That leap sounds logical, yet biologically it's incomplete. Performance challenges after 50 are often vascular, not purely hormonal. In my clinic, I've met countless men who tell me, "Doctor, my testosterone is fine, I take zinc, but nothing changed." And they're right to feel puzzled, because while zinc supports hormone pathways, it does not directly restore blood vessel flexibility, the very function required for healthy circulation. Blood flow depends on something different. It depends on how well your blood vessels expand, relax, and respond to signals. It depends on nitric oxide availability. It depends on endothelial function, the health of the delicate inner lining of your vessels. Zinc is not the primary driver of these mechanisms. Imagine trying to fix a stiff door hinge by polishing the doorknob. The knob matters. It's part of the system, but it doesn't solve the friction at the hinge. This is the common misconception. More zinc equals better performance. The reality is more nuanced. If a man is zinc deficient, correcting that deficiency can indeed improve hormone balance and overall vitality. But once levels are adequate, adding more zinc rarely produces additional benefit. The body does not convert excess zinc into extra testosterone or dramatically improved circulation. And excessive intake can quietly create new problems. Oversupplementation is more common than many realize. Men combine multivitamins, immune boosters, and standalone zinc tablets without recognizing the cumulative dose. Too much zinc may lead to nausea, stomach discomfort, and a metallic taste. More importantly, chronic high intake can disrupt copper balance. Zinc and copper compete for absorption. When zinc dominates, copper levels may decline. Copper is not a trivial mineral. It supports nerve health, red blood cell formation, and cardiovascular function. Low copper can contribute to fatigue, weakness, and even neurological symptoms. Ironically, the pursuit of vitality through excess zinc can produce the opposite effect. Another disappointment men face is minimal circulation improvement. They take zinc expecting stronger blood flow, better responsiveness, improved stamina. Yet zinc was never designed to act as a vascular relaxant. It doesn't directly increase nitric oxide. It doesn't significantly enhance vessel elasticity. This is why some men feel stuck. They did the right thing. They supplemented. They followed advice. But the underlying issue, declining vascular efficiency, remained unaddressed. And I want you to hear this clearly because it often brings relief. If zinc didn't solve the problem, it doesn't mean your body is broken. It means the target was incomplete. After 50, many changes labeled as low testosterone problems are actually circulation problems wearing a hormonal disguise. Reduced firmness, weaker stamina, slower recovery, fading morning energy, these frequently reflect how blood vessels behave, not just how hormones fluctuate. And circulation requires a different strategy, not stronger stimulants, not megadoses of a single mineral, but support for vascular relaxation, endothelial repair, and nitric oxide pathways. So if zinc isn't the real nighttime circulation booster, what is? But here's what most people don't expect. The support your blood vessels need at night may come from something far simpler than a prescription, something found in your kitchen, not your medicine cabinet. Certain natural compounds have a remarkable ability to assist blood vessel relaxation and improve oxygen delivery. Among them, one fruit stands out for men over 50 because of a very specific nutrient combination that works gently with your body's nighttime physiology. That fruit is watermelon. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Watermelon sounds like a summer snack, not a circulation strategy. Yet biologically, it carries something unique: citrulline. Why does this matter? Because watermelon contains citrulline, a natural precursor to nitric oxide. Let me explain this in the simplest way possible. Citrulline is an amino acid your body can convert into another compound called arginine. Arginine then helps your body produce nitric oxide, the same molecule we discussed earlier that signals blood vessels to relax and widen. So the pathway looks like this. Citrulline becomes arginine, and arginine helps boost nitric oxide. This sequence is important because nitric oxide is one of the most critical regulators of vascular flexibility. When nitric oxide levels are supported, blood vessels can expand more easily, resistance decreases, circulation improves, tissues receive oxygen more efficiently. For men, this has very practical implications. During sleep, your body attempts to repair blood vessels and restore endothelial function, the health of the vessel lining. If nitric oxide signaling is weak, vessels remain slightly constricted, blood flow becomes less dynamic, oxygen delivery declines, recovery suffers. But when nitric oxide production is gently encouraged, something different happens. Blood vessels relax more naturally, microcirculation improves, oxygen and nutrients move more freely. The body's nighttime repair systems operate under better conditions. This is where watermelon becomes surprisingly relevant. The citrulline in watermelon supports nitric oxide production without acting as a stimulant. Unlike caffeine or aggressive performance enhancers, it doesn't force a response. It doesn't excite the nervous system. Instead, it assists a natural biochemical pathway your body already uses. In other words, it works with sleep, not against it. When consumed appropriately, this gentle support may contribute to improved vessel flexibility during sleep. That flexibility allows better nighttime circulation. Better circulation enhances oxygen delivery. Better oxygen delivery supports tissue repair. And this cascade can influence several areas men care deeply about. Nighttime circulation plays a role in morning responsiveness. Healthy overnight blood flow supports normal vascular reactions upon waking. Muscle recovery also benefits because oxygen and nutrients reach tissues more effectively. Blood pressure stability may improve as relaxed vessels reduce unnecessary resistance. Even sleep quality itself can benefit indirectly. When circulation is smoother and the cardiovascular system is under less strain, the body often transitions more easily into deeper, more restorative sleep stages. There's another overlooked advantage: hydration. Watermelon is composed largely of water, yet it delivers that hydration along with electrolytes and beneficial compounds. Proper hydration supports blood volume, circulation efficiency, and vascular function. Mild dehydration, common in older adults, can thicken blood slightly, increasing resistance and reducing flow. A hydrating, citrulline-rich food therefore supports two mechanisms at once: fluid balance and nitric oxide pathways. But timing matters. Eating anything too late at night can interfere with digestion and sleep quality. Heavy meals redirect blood flow toward the digestive system, increase metabolic activity, and may fragment sleep. The goal here is not nighttime fullness, it is vascular support. For many men, a modest portion earlier in the evening allows the body to digest comfortably while still benefiting from the fruit's properties during the night. This avoids spikes in blood sugar close to bedtime and reduces the risk of sleep disruption. Watermelon may also support endothelial function, the delicate inner lining of blood vessels responsible for regulating dilation, inflammation, and flow dynamics. A healthier endothelium responds more effectively to nitric oxide signals, enhancing overall vascular responsiveness. Now let me be very clear, watermelon is not a miracle cure. It is not a replacement for medical care. But as part of a broader lifestyle approach, sleep optimization, circulation support, metabolic balance, it can become a valuable ally, especially for men navigating age-related vascular changes. And this is exactly why small, consistent adjustments often outperform dramatic interventions. Your body responds best to steady support, not extremes. But this only works if you avoid the next mistake most men make when adding it. Now here's the mistake most seniors make after learning about helpful foods. They focus on what to eat, but overlook when and how to eat it. And with circulation, timing is not a small detail. It can completely change the outcome. Even beneficial foods can fail if consumed incorrectly. I've seen this repeatedly. A man adds something healthy to his routine, expects improvement, then feels disappointed when nothing changes, or worse, when sleep becomes restless. Let's start with the most common issue, eating too close to bedtime. When you eat late at night, especially foods containing natural sugars, your digestive system must remain active. Blood flow shifts toward the stomach and intestines. Metabolism increases. Body temperature rises slightly. Instead of entering deep recovery mode, your body stays partially engaged in processing food. This can lead to subtle but meaningful disruptions. Sleep becomes lighter, you may wake more often, heart rate variability changes, and the very circulation benefits you were aiming for become diluted. Your body cannot fully prioritize vascular repair while simultaneously managing digestion. Then there is the second mistake, excess sugar intake. Yes, watermelon contains natural sugars. That isn't inherently harmful, but portion size matters, especially at night. A large serving can trigger a significant insulin response. Insulin spikes influence more than blood sugar. They also affect blood vessels. Elevated insulin may promote temporary vessel constriction. Instead of relaxing, vessels tighten slightly. Blood flow dynamics shift in the wrong direction. The goal of supporting nitric oxide and vascular flexibility becomes compromised. This is why some men say, "I tried eating fruit at night, but I didn't feel better." The issue wasn't the fruit, it was the metabolic response created by timing and quantity. The goal is vascular support, not blood sugar spikes. So what works better? First, a small portion, not a large bowl, not multiple slices. Just enough to provide citrulline and hydration without overwhelming your metabolic system. Think of it as signaling support, not a meal replacement. Second, earlier in the evening. This allows digestion to complete before your body transitions into deeper sleep stages. Your nervous system can shift smoothly into recovery mode. Blood flow can redistribute toward repair instead of processing. Third, balanced with protein or healthy fat. This simple adjustment slows sugar absorption, it softens the insulin response, it stabilizes blood sugar. A few nuts, a small piece of cheese or yogurt can change the physiological impact of the same fruit. These are not extreme rules. They are gentle refinements that align biology with behavior. Now let's talk about practical guidance. Portion size should feel light, not filling. Enough to satisfy, never enough to create heaviness. Your stomach should feel calm when you go to bed. Comfort is a biological advantage. Form also matters. Fresh watermelon provides fiber, water content, and slower absorption. Juice, on the other hand, concentrates sugars and removes fiber. This accelerates blood sugar spikes and increases the likelihood of an insulin surge. For nighttime circulation support, fresh is generally the wiser choice. And as always, individual health conditions must be respected. Men with diabetes should be especially mindful. Blood sugar regulation at night is delicate. Even natural sugars can cause fluctuations that disturb sleep and vascular stability. This doesn't automatically forbid fruit, but it requires careful portion control and medical awareness. Men with severe kidney disease should also exercise caution. Watermelon is rich in potassium. While beneficial for many, excess potassium can become problematic when kidney function is impaired. This is why personalized medicine matters more than generalized advice. But for many healthy men over 50, these small adjustments, portion timing, pairing, transform a simple food into a supportive tool rather than a metabolic disturbance. Because physiology after 50 is less forgiving of extremes, the body prefers moderation, rhythm, and consistency. And when you respect those principles, benefits often emerge quietly: smoother sleep, steadier energy, improved morning responsiveness. Now here's what most doctors never explain about why this works better after 50. But here's the part I want you to carry with you after this video ends. We began by speaking about something many men experience but rarely voice: weaker response, slower circulation, mornings that no longer feel like renewal. These shifts are easy to label as just aging, yet more often they reflect how effectively your body repairs itself during sleep. When sleep truly supports blood flow, the body regains its natural rhythm. Blood vessels relax instead of resist. Oxygen moves more freely instead of struggling through tension. Nerves communicate more clearly, and morning stops feeling like evidence of decline. It becomes a reflection of recovery. I remind my patients of this constantly. Performance is not merely a physical event. It is deeply tied to confidence, dignity, and the quiet comfort of feeling at home in your own body. The reassuring truth is that improvement rarely demands extreme change. Small adjustments, practiced consistently, can gently redirect the trajectory. Not dramatic overnight transformations, but steady restoration your body can actually sustain, because the real goal is not chasing youth, it is preserving strength, protecting vitality, rebuilding self-trust, and that process begins in the most underestimated place: while you sleep. If this conversation resonated with you, I want you to know something important: you are not alone. Every day I speak with men over 50 who are discovering that vitality does not simply fade, it changes, adapts, and with the right understanding, it can be supported. If you value clear, medically grounded guidance on circulation, sleep, performance, and long-term men's health, consider subscribing. This channel exists to offer calm, honest education you can trust. In the next video, we'll explore another nighttime factor that quietly influences testosterone and vascular function, one many men completely overlook. Until then, protect your sleep, because your body is still listening.